Hey everybody, it's that time. Let me move my camera around a little bit. It's Kate Richburg, and it is time for Beadshop Live. I'm seeing all of the Miranda, can you see all of the lint that's on the front of me over here? Look, I thought I had lint rolled.
We did a bad job.
Yeah, I totally did a bad job. Well, just pretend. Look at that. You ever have a sweater?
It's there on purpose.
Yeah. It's tweed is what it is. Did you ever have a sweater that went through with a Kleenex? That's what happened here. So I'm a little embarrassed, but
that happens to me
whatever.
I think every load of
yeah,
JoJo.
Right. Dose of realness, everybody. Dose of realness. Well, it's great to see everybody. You know, I was going to put the Christmas tree over here. We've got a little tiny tree, super cute. Let me get this. We also got a holiday lantern. I was going to put it in the background. Let me put it in the background. I had my quilt group yesterday. Look at my holiday lantern. Isn't that gorge? So I want it. My quilt group. I'm going to put it right here. Look. Oh, you can't really see it. Hang on. Hold, please, while I decorate. Talk amongst yourselves. Sorry, it's been kind of a crazy day, so my OCD is way. There we go. Look at how magical that looks. I need to put something on this wall, though, because that's a little bit bare. But anyway, I got my Christmas lantern. We did our white elephant gifts at our quilt group. It was super fun. So I got that. Right, yes, I'm going to pretend. Thank you, Curtis. Yes, it's like snow. So pretend that I had no idea. Look at this is horrible. I had no idea it would show this much on camera. Look at this. This is super embarrassing, but whatever. I've got a lint roller. So I'll pull it together here in a second. But yes, so oh, Kathy, you have one of those too. I love these. I think you can find them at the big box stores. I don't know, but look, I feel like Ebenezer Scrooge, right? So Janice texted you about something.
Yeah.
She just said, okay, she saw it.
I'm checking.
Look at real time. Anyway, it was super fun. We had a great time with our quilt guild, my mom and I. Really super fun. It's like my favorite day when two of the ladies in our quilt guild, they kind of put together this really fantastic party, and we have trivia, which is awesome. We have like a big meal together. We do a white elephant exchange. We did pretty good in the trivia, my mom and I. And full disclosure, my mom and I actually practiced beforehand in the car. It was kind of funny. So, and a couple of those questions were actually in the trivia, right? It's pretty funny. So there we go. Can we see? You can't see my holiday lantern though, so I'm going to move it over. There we go. It's my holiday lantern. It's kind of fun. Yes, so it was really super fun. We had a great time. And it was just really fun. I think she said she found it at Kohl's department store, I think, is where she found it. I'm going to have to go back and look at it, find another one, because they're super magical. They look great. So yeah, so that's what's been going on. It's been kind of a whirlwind of activity over here. I have my holiday mug. I also have my summer hat. I don't know why my summer hat's still in here, but look at, there's my summer hat. I should actually, maybe I'll put that on the mannequin. There we go. I moved it over there, but whatever. So what have we got today? I'm wearing my beaded snowflake that I love right here, that we did a couple of Saturday stitch-ins today. We've been doing a lot with these gem duos. I also wanted to let you folks know we are almost caught up with orders. I know it's been a long road, and you folks have stuck with us, and we super appreciate it, right? All of your, I've got to stop looking at myself in this in the video because I'll keep picking lint off. But we really appreciate all of your support through this transition. If you're kind of new to watching us, we brought all of our product back home here in Fresno, Beadshop West, right? So it's been a little bit of an adjustment period. Not that we don't know how to fill orders or anything like that, but you folks have been so supportive of us, and orders have been coming in fast and furiously. But way back in September when we closed for that, we didn't ship orders for like 3 weeks, but you folks kept ordering, which we were so grateful for. It kind of put us back, right? And so we kept trying to catch up and catch up and catch up and catch up. So we're finally within just a short time period. So you will see, what's that?
We can see the light.
We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So you're going to see a lot of stuff ship this week. So we're hoping, fingers crossed, by next week we'll be completely caught up and back to our regular fulfillment times of 1 to 3 business days, all of that. So thank you. Oh my gosh, Carrie, patience does pay off. I have a tendency, and we're going to get to our stitching, but I don't know. I feel a little philosophical in our meeting today, so maybe I'll go on about it a little bit. But I think what I have a tendency to do is I have a tendency to jump in and not really think a little bit about like the repercussions, right? So I'm like, let's do this project and let's do all of this and let's get all of this stuff in, and not realizing that we're just really a super small team and we work really hard. So we're really trying to, to be as good and as reliable, and your bead shop, your local bead shop, even though we're online, we're trying to do all of those things. So it's great. So we really, really appreciate you folks. So it looks like Deb says she's got her order, which is great. Janice is saying that the gem duos and super duos are back in stock. So we're a bunch of 8/0s. We're going to be using 8/0s in our project today. It's going to be really fun. I think just being caught up, Dawn, is a catch up in itself, but now we'll be able to start launching. I didn't want to launch like a bunch of new stuff, and I've got some Beadshop studio stuff that's sitting over here and everything, but I didn't want to launch it till we were closer to being caught up because I didn't want you folks to wait and wait and wait. So now that we're almost there, you're going to see a bunch of like new stuff. You've got a lot of restocks. So we really appreciate it. And thank you. Frantic Scantic said they just placed 5 orders. Every time you watch a video, I'm like, okay, I got to make it. Thank you. Thank you.
I was going to say, I think
it's working.
6 or 7 of Carrie's orders are shipped.
All right, Carrie, you've got all of your orders coming. So awesome. Well, great. Well, I'm going to take a swig of what I feel should be gin, but is actually coffee in my holiday mug. And let's get to it. Oh, great. Margaret, Margaret got her orders. So that's great. We really, really super appreciate. So today what I'm going to do is, we've had a lot of brick stitch lately, right? We've been doing a bunch of different brick stitch. Even Danielle did it in her bracelet here that she did last week with her Delica mix. And also, good news, friends, we are going to be adding some Delica mixes in the 10s to try them out. Janice and I, we texted about it just briefly, but so you'll be seeing the 10/0s. This is the mix that Danielle did on her own for us. So this is her exclusive mix here. But the Delicas and 10/0s come in some really terrific colorways in mixes. So you'll see those. And so Terry's saying about the items she shipped back. Yeah, we got them. It's all good. Thank you, my friend, for doing that. we are good to go. So, okay. So let me show you. I have some, uh, things that we're going to play around with here. I've got some samples I want to share with you, and I've got an idea in my head about stitching. Okay. So we're going to jump into it. So great. So, oh, and Janice also said, she's going to put Tiara Cast into stock today. We're getting a whole bunch of Tiara Cast that's in. Now it's made by the same Greek company that makes symbols, right? Like this. So we get them now. They're not just up the road from us, right? They used to be in Santa Rosa, but since the company was bought and revived, they're made over in Greece, like the symbols are. So it takes us a while to restock, right? Because they come from overseas. So you'll see those. So check back tomorrow. Janice is putting them into stock today. Okay. And Carolyn, you and me both. I want those mixes real bad as well. So you're going to see we're launching them in the 11-aughts. I'm launching them for the Great Bead Extravaganza. You'll see those in January. The Great Bead Extravaganza is less than a month away. It's crazy. So you'll see those, and maybe we can get the 10-aughts around that time too. Okay, so we'll see. Janice and I will talk about it. And Leslie, it's great. Looks like Leslie's dad is feeling better, which is good. And I also have another note. And those of you who are new to us here, we do a lot of chatting, and we're a worldwide bead community, right? Not only do we have friends here in the US, but our friends to the north in Canada, our friends to the south in Mexico and in South America. We have friends overseas on the continent, all continents, right? So this is a great catch-up time as well, especially around the holidays. We feel kind of cozy and connected to family, and you are all of our bead family. I did want to let you folks know, and I did have her permission. And Janice, I apologize because I don't think I've told you this either, but I do have her permission to let all of you folks know. Our buddy Donna Chandler, who's on, she comes on and she comments. She's a really heartfelt supporter, like all of you are, of Beadshop. Well, she's going through a little health glitch. They actually found some breast cancer with her, but she gave me permission to share it with you, which is why she's not on here as much. She's getting treatment. They caught it super early. Prognosis is good. She's going to have to, jump through those hoops that you need to when you find out that you got a little spot of BC, right? So, but she said that she wanted to let you folks know, and that she's doing well, and she appreciates all of your good wishes and your prayers. So lots of love out to you, Donna. I actually chatted with Donna on the phone last week. So all good. All good. So I didn't JP, but we need to get together a little something and send it over to our friend Donna. But she is going to she's going to know, she has a great team behind her. She's super happy. She about her team, not about the cancer. But beads, as she says, beads are going to help her through to this. So yes, lots and lots of love. So I know that when she watches this broadcast, she will be so, so happy to see that. And Leslie, good thoughts out to you. All we have now is the moment that we're in, right? So we all have to be sit in the present, be thankful for our creativity and our friends. But now that everyone has jumped on, let's get to it, shall we? So let me add this, my other camera, to the stage, and let me add here. Of course, my friends, you can find us all over the web. And Janice also put up, and I talked about it a little bit last week. Janice put up the link to our Amazon storefront. So I'm going to have to add it to this. I'm going to have to add kind of a permanent link up there so you can see it. We've had an Amazon storefront for a while, but you folks kind of reminded me of it last week. So I went in and I poked around, and I'm like, oh, I'm all set up. Awesome. So in our live broadcasts, a lot of times we talk about things that come from Amazon. And so we'll be putting all of those up in our Amazon storefront. I think what Janice did here was you can follow, it's me, but it's Beadshop collectively. So our Amazon storefront is shop/beadshop.com, and give us a follow over there if you would. The more follows and stuff we get, as always with social, right? The higher in the algorithms we get, and we would really love it. Oh, and the neck lamp, we will. Janice, if you will add it, it's that neck lamp, that neck light that I used. It's like Grow Fill or something. So we'll add all of that. That neck light is super important. Really great to use for sure. Let me see who else is in here. Oh, and I just wanted to give a shout out. Speaking of things that arrived, my cousin Kathleen also watches us. A big hello to my dear cousin. And Kathy, I said I would text you when I got it, but I'll tell everyone live. Thank you so much for my package, and I haven't opened it yet, but I'll text you after I open it. So thank you. Okay. Enough chit chat, shall we?
One more chit chat.
One more chit chat.
We still can't ship to Canada.
Oh, Miranda's letting us know the Canadian mail strike
Might be over.
is over, but
there's still a suspension on USPS.
Okay. They're still not letting us ship out. So we're watching it. So if anyone needs, it's the glucosant lamp, JP. It is. Yes. And thank you, Ellen, for that. The post in the Amazon link will be included in the notes in the YouTube descriptions as well. So that's great. And yes, Terry, I'll add the gel. I promise you. So yes, we will get it. Let's see. And Terry says here, they're not accepting foreign packages yet. Rumors is that they'll start on December 23rd. That's good to know. If you really need it, okay, just let us know and we'll UPS it to you. There'll be no extra charge. We'll just send it out. Okay. But if you're really in Canada, and need to know, send it. We'll send it to you via UPS. Okay. And thank you for that. Add reviews to what we have on our Amazon storefront. That would be awesome. So we really, really super appreciate. And thank you, Michelle, for keeping us updated for that. I can't imagine what a backlog there is. And Terry, thanks for that. What we have is we have all of our Canadian orders. We have a big bin and all of your orders are safely in there. So we promise you they'll get out to you as soon as they can. So, okay. Let's take a look then. I think we've covered everything. And let's take a look at what we're going to do today with Brick Stitch. So if you're rewatching this about 20, let's see where we are, 21 minutes and 17 seconds in, we actually start the project. Mm-hmm. Perfect. All right. Let's take a look. So I brought out this piece. This was one of the pieces that kind of started it all. And I was looking for my earrings from Drea and I couldn't find them, but I have some of my earrings over here. I also have a great pair that Danielle Wicks sent me. I think they're in my earring bin in my room, but this is a piece that started it all. This is, I know it was like a family meeting, right? Deb, we had a big family meeting. We had to have a family meeting. Now family meeting's over. On to project. This is a pendant that Allie Morey did for us a while back. And I think that this is in one of our lookbooks. Now, if you're looking for a last minute project, and again, if you really need your order shipped like ASAP, please don't leave it in the order notes right now. Please email Drea and let her know, please expedite my order and we can get it out to you quick. Christmas shipping cutoff, holiday shipping cutoff is probably going to be by, well, today, tomorrow, maybe. We'll ship on Friday, but Christmas Eve, I can't believe it. It's Christmas Day is a week from today, right? So let us know, like today, tomorrow, and that'll be it. But you probably have a lot of this stuff in your stash already. So this is a piece, brick stitch, that Allie did. And instead of making earrings, which we love, she made it into a pendant. And I want to show you some of the features of this piece. Let me zoom in just a little bit here so you can see it. See how she used, this is one of the Tiara Cast coiled spacers that she stitched into the top. Okay, so this, I think it's such a really beautiful pendant, fast to stitch up. Here we have also one of the earrings, the dancer earrings that we made. It's very similar to this fashion. Okay, the loops that we used all of our connector loops. We have a ton of connector loops, and we put them on sale yesterday and today. They're marked down on the website. They're marked down 10%. So you can combine them with a reward or a coupon to save like up to 30%, right? Because when you spend, you get 20% off. I'll show you the, where are the, let me get it. I've got them right here. Our holiday savings. When you spend 100 or more and use Joyous 20, you get 20% off, 15% off 15 or more. So combining that 10% up to 25 or up to 30% off with these. So they're all in our connector category. And I think, let's see, I think they might be listed on the homepage. Let me take a look. I should have looked. Yep, connectors. You can go over to that. All the hoops and connectors are all there, all under the all under hoops and connectors. They're all there, so you can see them all. Let me get back to this. So hoops, connectors, including things like symbols, all of that kind of stuff. So I wanted to point this out, though, that this stitch in, that this was just a bead, right? But you can use a bunch of different things from our symbols category, right? That you can stitch in. This little guy, that little bail is a good one. These are the gem duos that are, whoops, let me do this. That gem duo stitch in that's there. So they're just so fun to create with. Hang on, I've got a quick question here. Okay. So from these right here, Drea created some earrings that were gorgeous, right? This is one that I did kind of following Drea's tutorial. This is one that Drea did. The hoops are coming back in. I had hoped to have them here by the holiday, but we didn't. But we've got some new ones. We've got also some larger sizes. We carry up to the 40 millimeter. I think I ordered some 50 millimeters as well. So, and this is a great question. Do your VIB reward points Do you lose your points at the end of the year? You don't. You never use your rewards. I think you have to use them at least once a year. But you never lose your rewards. We never take your rewards away from you. So let me show you. Let me show you some basics here. And you can kind of adapt this. If you go over to the website, you'll find just a ton of, let's see, and Dria's updating symbols. Currently, it looks like the symbols weren't showing on being on, what do I want to say? Being on sale, but Dria's fixing that. Okay, so they're there. So let me take a look. Let's see what we're doing. Let me get sorry, Drea is also communicating with me all at the same time. So I'm wearing all of my hats right now. Let me get a bead board here so it's nice and light for you to look at. I'm going to scoot all of this around, and I want to show you what I'm thinking of. Okay. So all of the stuff, the connectors, should show on sale. Let's see. I'm going to let her know. Check. Thanks. They are saying things are not. Okay. Great. Okay. There we are. We're back. Okay. I know the design with the briolets, isn't that, let me put this on kind of a clear background so you folks can see it. This is under the dancer earrings. I also did it dragon dance. I don't have the earrings out here, but you can go and look at them. Those are also good. Drea makes a ton of these. I have a couple of Drea's pairs. I really love them. Drea, I just heard from Drea, and she said she'll go through any orders and make the adjustments as well. So don't worry, we've got you covered, but everything should be updated now. And I'm going to just text her back and say, great, I let the broadcast know. And if you have any questions, just shoot her an email. Okay. So these guys here, and let me show you Allie's here. Allie also put hers on, this is Chinese knotting cord. I think this is either 0.4 or 0.5, whatever. You can even use 0.8 millimeter, doesn't really matter. But it really is gorgeous. You can see there's a button here. Let me zoom out a bit right there so you can see it. So this really is a fast and furious project for sure, because if you make a pendant, you don't have to make a pair, right? So some of the components that I pulled, we've got a lot of different components. We've got these really fantastic flat components like that. We've got these connectors, these round hoops like this. These come in a lot of different colors. We also have that in a drop. Speaking of drops, we've got it in this size. We have smaller drops. There they are. I knew I pulled some smaller ones. Here's one. This one's a nice small one. You can make a smaller earring. You can even invert it. That would be really pretty, and brick stitch around there so it comes to a point. We also have these that don't get a lot of attention, or maybe they do. I don't know. But I wanted to give these some attention today because look, I love this shape. This is the half circle. This one is the triangle. Okay. All of these connectors. So you don't have to have the hoops, but as I say, hoops, my friends, and apologies, they will be back in. And I know you folks also love the rainbow metal hoops that we got. I've ordered those back in, and I've also ordered them in a larger size. So 40 millimeters, the largest we carry. I also ordered them in a 50 because I just love the big size hoops too. Okay. So today, what I thought I would do, I went to the drawing board. And so like in this one, and you can see, and I still wear them anyway, because I don't care. I love how they look. These were 3 millimeters. They were coated, and the coating has come off, right? And these were some, we pulled them right away when we realized that happened. So if you ever have any issues with any of our beads like this, please let us know, because we like to share that knowledge. We'll pull them right away. But a lot of them now are a Duracoat or a, what's it called? It's called a check armor or check something, where the coating doesn't flake off. But I don't really mind. I think they have, yeah, kind of a cool look. But these are 3 millimeter, and Brick Stitch is awesome with these 3 millimeters as well. We also carry 2 shield. Thank you, Janice. Check shield is what it is. Yeah, it does look like travertine, right? It's just a travertine. That's what I'll call it. So, so I pulled some 3 millimeter. This is the Iris Brown. Okay. I also pulled, because you need an 8/0, I pulled an 8-457. These are, if you think about the color of the year, this year for 2025, it's that mocha mousse. So I was trying to kind of get a mocha mousse kind of a feeling here. I also pulled, I'm not sure if I'm going to use them, 8-641. This is a little warm, but it still, I think, is in that color range. I also pulled a Briolette. That's the Champagne Citron. This is the Tanzanite one. I thought maybe if I wanted to add a little bit of blue, right? And this, in the 15s, I got the Patina Iris to add just a little bit of color there. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see what happens, right? So let's talk about Brick Stitch and talk about, you know, you actually do see the threads in some of these when you stitch. You can use Fireline or you can use KO. And I wanted to show you, I wanted to really zoom in on this one so you could see. See how you can see the thread in there? And that's KO. I have no idea what color that is, to be honest. But your thread can either match, it can enhance. I mean, you didn't really notice until I talked about it, right? Let me show you this one. This hoop with the gold. I think Drea used a gold KO. And you can kind of see the threads a little bit coming through there, but it all complements it, right? Here's the one that I did. I used gold KO in this one. Today, I think I'm going to use Fireline because I've got Fireline sitting here and I've been using so much Fireline lately. I'm going to see which one I like. Here is the crystal. And that pretty much disappears, right? No, JP, this is, I don't think it's Ceylon. I mean, I think this is definitely KO. She may have used it in some things, but this is definitely KO in here. You could use micro Ceylon, though, too, if you wanted to. Let's take a look at the smoke and see what that looks like with the gold. And it shows a little bit more. So I think I'm going to use the crystal. Okay, I know it's kind of blending into the background here, but let me do this. Someone asked about, are these work hardened? And they are. Can you see how, I mean, they're pretty stiff, right? So they're not going to move around on you, okay? And Angela, this is a fantastic tip. Alcohol markers, you can cover the crystal Fireline. That's awesome. That's great. Great to know. So I'm going to cut, let me get these out of the way, and I'm not going to use any of these right now. Let me cut, I don't know, about a wingspan, I guess. And for Fireline, I like using my Xuron right here, my Xuron thread cutter. Okay. And let me put, you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use one of my little ultra suede squares for a background. It'll be a little bit easier to see this, right? So I'm going to use, because I have them here and I've been using them, I'm going to use my size 10 sharp needle. That's just what's been sitting here. For ease of stringing with this Fireline, what I do is I come in and I flatten it down. Can you see how that's flattened? It's kind of hard to see, but you can see that little flat end. And I'm going to needle that thread. I'm going to put that little flat part right next to my thumbnail. Try and get it in my, sorry, I'm going to have to take it out of my line of vision because I can't see it that far. There it goes. Okay. I got it through. All right. So now for brick stitch. The base of brick stitch, let me get Allie's piece in here because it really illustrates this well. The way that we start is we need to start with the base. So this is the base row right here, that A-dot base row, okay? Not only does Allie work her way out, but she works her way in as well here, okay? So let's start by stitching on a base outside here, okay? And I think I'm going to go all the way around, right? Let's see. I'm just going to jump in with 8/0. This is that 8-457. Let's do it. I can't always get this off with my hands, so I come in sometimes with my plier, pull the lid off that way, put some of those down. As Janice was saying, we just restocked a bunch of the 8/0. So we're in good company. We've got a lot of the 8/0. A lot of Miyuki has just been restocked. So I'm going to come in and you put the first two down, right? And this is just going to be one row. Okay, let me get a little tighter in here. Okay, there we go. So here I'm going to come in, I'm going to go around the hoop. So that's around. And I'm going to come up so that this stitch goes around the, did it go? No, I didn't catch it. Sorry. I'm trying to watch comments and do this all at the same time. Bear with me here. Let me do that again. I can also, to make this a little bit easier on myself, which I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to knot this on. See that there? Why not? I love, yes, the 457, Lenny. I agree. I just love this color. Let me see if I can. I'm having a little bit of a zoom issue here. Focus issue. There we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? Okay, so I tied the knot. That's a little better. Let me come in. I've got these two down like this, right? So I'm going to come up and around my half circle. Now I might be zoomed in a little close, but bear with me here. I'll try and stay in camera, in frame. So they're here, right, laying flat. And now I'm going to come up through this second one. Okay, so that has kind of laid down my first little brick stitch brick row. Okay, let me untangle this thread. The tail is kind of tangled in there. The tail I will probably weave in or something. I'm not going to worry about it too much, but I need to reinforce this because see, this 11/0 is, or this 8/0 rather, is kind of unruly. So I'm going to go down that first one and back up to reinforce it. Sorry, I know it looks a little bit like the dog's breakfast until I get it done. Let me zoom out a little bit. But you want to stitch these in place. Oops. I missed going around the loop. Sorry, I don't know why I'm so fumbly today, everybody, but I am a little bit. Let me go around the hoop. There we go. There we are. Did it come around? No. What's the problem here? Here's that. It's here. I am going through the hoop, back up this bead. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera. I think I might just need to reinforce it and go through one more time. I'm going to go down this one. There we go. Back up and around this one. This really shouldn't be taking me that much time. Sorry. Zoom out. That's better. I am undoing my stitch. I don't know what you know what? This is sometimes I just have to start it over. Apologies, everyone. Let me just get rid of that. And the knot, I think, kind of threw me off too. Bear with me. You're like, wow. But you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. All right, there we go. Let me get a little zoom back in. There we go. Move this down. All right. Yeah, this is the 6-pound fire line. That's what I'm using. I like the 6-pound a lot, for sure. I'm going to put this tail, you know what? I think I know why. I think it's because I wanted to start on that side of the hoop. I want to start on this side too. All right, so here we go. I'm going to come around, laying my two pieces, my two beads on top. I'm going to come around, go up through that second one. This is the time where I think of Danielle Wicks and how gifted she is at demoing, right? I'm all, where's Danielle Wicks? So here we go, right there. And now I'm going to go in down here to the first one, down from the front, and up through the back. See, so that's my two threads are in front right there, and up through the back. And then I'll fix the focus, sorry. All righty. And tighten that up. Okay, so see what we've got there. Okay. So now, and the curve does make it a little hard too, but it's all right. I persevere. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna reinforce this one more time. Okay, I'm gonna go down through my bead from, maybe I'll go from the back through to the front. And you can do either or. There we go. Okay. I'm going to try not to tie that knot. I know I can. I don't know why the knot was kind of holding me, throwing me off, but it was. I'm going to go back here from the back. Around to the front. There we go. Okay. Everyone's telling me to tie a knot at the beginning. Okay. I'll do that. I'm going to tie it right there. I'll take this back. Here's where I'm going to tie a knot. Right there. And here. Right over left, left over right. It's all the knot's fault. I know. Stupid knot. There we go. Okay, now I'll come up here. Go down and make my thread bridge. Come up through. Now I'm ready to go. So I'm just going to come in and with my base row, stitch around. I'll get my hands organized here. Let me get a little tighter in here. Come up and through. Oh, you guys, what is my problem today? There we go. I went through the wrong way. There we go. Up and through. I was thinking, oh, now it's going to go super fast. But it will. I got it. And this way. No, I'm doing this. I keep doing this backwards. Oh my gosh, everybody. From underneath the bead. What is my damage, Heather? Come around. Let me put this on. There it is, going through, around, and up from underneath the bead, my friend. There we go. All right, phew. How long has she been doing this? We all have those days, right? We all have those. So we want this to be pretty even around. Let me zoom. There we go. Okay. So let me put on my next one here. I like this big hoop. This, or this big kind of half hoop. This, I think, would make a fantastic pendant as well, a la Allie on that. This last space, I'm going to come in. I'll come around. Let's see where it fits. You kind of just have to, when it comes to the corner like this, you just have to turn the corner. So let's see where this bead is going to end up. Do I want to bring it in there? Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Maybe it does want to come right there to the end. Okay, let's see. We'll put this one on. This second one will tell us. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. Yeah, and you could grab a small one for the corner. For sure you could. You could add a picot or something there, but I'm going to just keep going. Because I think, I mean, I don't really, can you tell I'm making this up on the fly? What a surprise. So we'll see what happens. There we go. I think I finally hit my stride. Kettle's going off. I don't know if you can hear that, but there we go. And here we go. That's also a good tip. Picking up or saving like the skinny ones or the ones that are a little bit thinner. And then you can use those. I know Emily does that too. So you can kind of, you know, play around with where you want them to be. You know, if you need spacing issues or whatever. But these are pretty big hoops. And you may want to use a beading needle. I'm using a sharp with this because I like a short needle. You know, I was actually beading with a regular 10-aught beading needle, size 10 beading needle the other day. And I broke it. And I never break needles. But I think it was so long that, because I have a tendency when I'm stitching to bend the needle like this, right? And so with that size 10 needle that I was bending, it just snapped right in half. So when you're working with something, if you're used to working with a sharp, make sure that when you switch to your 11-aught or your 10-aught needle, size 10 needle, that you're not pushing on it too much. There we go. Look at that's looking right. Let me turn this around. Yeah, this is going to be Mocha Mousse Extravaganza is what this is going to be. Go up from the bottom, not from the top. Yeah, there we go. That's just going to sit right there. Hang on to it. Put another one on. And that second 8-aught will lock it in. Get that piece of thread out of the way. It's all about thread management, my friends. There we go. Okay, so see, I've come around the corner and I've locked it in. My second row around here, see this corner is a little wider than that corner, but it's not going to make any difference once you bring it around. Yeah, I like this vibe. It kind of has like a shiny marquee vibe to it. I don't know, you know, when your name is up on the marquee and lights. I don't know why I'm making that determination, but it kind of has that feeling for me. And I think brick stitching in kind of a different shape, around a different shape, provides a nice challenge. Okay. There we go. And yeah, you can definitely rewatch this and rewind or fast forward through. Ellen does all the time stamping on these, so you have a guide. So you can kind of weed your way through these lives sometimes. Yeah, look at that. I think this is going to be perfect. Let's see. Yeah, looky. Look at right there. Let me scooch in, zoom in, so you can really see it. It's a good time for a screenshot right there. There we go. Okay, and that number, it's 8-457, and that's our half circle gold component right here. Okay, so essentially, and what we do, and thanks for mentioning this, a lot of us are fairly well versed in the brick stitch, right? And we've got a whole bunch of brick stitch tutorials online. But let me just show you here real quick. So let me zoom back a little bit. So let me get my pen. So essentially what we're doing is, and I'm going to do this kind of on a straight rather than a curve, okay? But if this is our component piece here, okay? What we do is we start with 2 times with 2 beads, right? So they've strung on, you've got your 2 beads sitting here like this, right? And there's the hole. So I'm going to come down, I go around that bar and back up, okay, to lay this down. Then I go through this second bead around the bar and back up, okay? That keeps them, that is the first one that secures. Then I go back down, I follow that thread path up. That's where I tied my knot, and then I went back down. So essentially you're just looping this bead on the bar, okay? And then you just do your single. Go around, back up. There's your bead around, back up. And so essentially you're looping them on, okay? We also have a lot of basics on brick stitch that delve a little bit deeper into making this what we call a base row. A lot of Emily's really great earring projects have it. But this time you're going around a component, so you kind of have to, have to come around. Okay. So good. Got it. Great. So just experiment. As long as you get those first 2 like flattened down, you'll be good to go. Okay. So now we need to decide what's going to happen up here. So now with brick stitch, we can see all these little thread bridges that are here, right? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add here on the side and here on the side a little picot thing, okay? So I've got some 11s and some 15s, okay? So what I'm going to do here, we start by adding 2, but I'm going to add the full picot. Let's see what that looks like. Whoops. I didn't go underneath my thread bridge. There we go. So see how I've added the picot? 1, 2, 3. Now all I need to do is I come up through bead number 3 of that picot. Though what I think I want to do, and I've told myself this before, if I feel like I want to go through this one more time, I'm gonna. Okay, so I'm going to come back in, go through that 11 to, or that 8/0 to lock it in, and go back through that picot. And see, that's a little, see how it's a little stiffer, or I feel like it's a little sturdier. So I'm going to go through this 11. Gosh, this 11 seems small. The 15 even smaller after these 8/0. Go around and through. So I just repeated that thread path. Okay, except I should have left well enough alone. Hang on. Again, see, I didn't go underneath that thread. What's my problem here today? So one of the things that I do so that I don't have to undo my needle, and again, I'm playing with fire here, but let me show you this tip. I come back, eye of the needle first. So that should get us through that 8 and that 11, which it did. Eye of the needle first. Doesn't quite want to do it with that 15. Is it going to break? It might. Let me get my beading awl. So watch where you put that first stitch again coming up. Let's see if I can get this through. Yep. There's that offending little thread. Just gotta have patience. You're the boss of this thread. I could just, you know, if I had just unthreaded this, unthreaded the needle and put it through, it might have been faster. But don't we do everything in our power not to rethread the eye of the needle? There we go. Send it through eye of the needle first, so that, though this is fireline, so it doesn't really split. If you're doing this with KO, I think that's more necessary. Okay, so there it is. I've taken that out and I go through. There we go. And I go down and I come back up. All right, that's fixed. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing correctly, right? So what we want to happen here, let me zoom in so you can see this. What we want to happen here is we want that little picot to sit up, right? Like that. So our next stitch, what we're going to do is we're going to come back through, I'm going to come back through that 8/0. We really only need to go, now we'll go through the 11, but I wanted to really kind of firm that up. Okay. So now I'm going to come in, I'm going to turn this around, and the only beads I need to add here are 1 picot, because this is the first bead now in the picot trio, and go down and go under the bridge. Okay. Now I go back up through that 11. There we go. Add my 11 and my picot, my 15. Now, if I were just doing another row, oh, whoops, and I put them on flipping backwards. Miranda, what's my problem today? Today, I'm officially the worst beater I know.
Right.
See, and now I did it, so I'm just going to undo it. Worst beater. Who's the worst beater?
Well, I couldn't do that, so
Well, you could.
I don't know how.
Well, you could.
So you're, in fact, better than me.
Well,
Have
today,
Chris come and do it.
right? Yeah, no. Chris is not a stitcher. See, and that's what happened. Kaliti just said when she goes back through a bead, she hears Clint Eastwood say, you know, how lucky are you feeling today? Well, I think my luck ran out. Let me just restring this. You folks will stick in with me.
You're just
Right.
real.
Yeah, I'm being dose of realness right here. Okay, so 15-aught first, my friends, then 11, then under the bridge. Right. Now up through the 11. Whoops. I went the wrong way. Under the thread bridge. Let's go under that thread bridge, around and up through. Because brick stitch is a series of loops that keeps everything in place. Yes, Em and Sophie is saying when she has one of those days, she gives up and she cleans. Well, unfortunately,
How ambitious.
yeah, that is very ambitious. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, fortunately, I have to persevere. There we go, getting back into the rhythm here. Under that thread bridge, can you see where I am putting this on? And yes, that's the mantra right here is green first, brown second to get that picot. If we weren't doing that picot, we would just add that single bead and go up and through. But this little picot, the little green 15, green first, brown second, that's my mantra. And click over. Let's go ahead and get up to the point where we turn the corner. Let's see what kind of fresh hell that's going to present to us. No, just kidding. It'll be fine. Here,
We could trade.
up through this. Yeah, you come stitch this. I'll fill that order.
We could try and find these eights I'm looking for.
Oh, perfect. They're there somewhere. Oh, see, Miranda already has the box open. All right, so see here, now we need to make some decisions, okay? We've got a little bit of space right here, so we have to finagle a little bit. So I'm going to go back through this thread bridge that's right there, okay? I'm going to go through this 11. And the tension should spread this out. Yeah, there we go. Let me get my 11 here, my 15 here, my 11 there. Just go with it. You know, some days we just have to breathe through it. And that's what I'm doing right now. I always say going live is not for the faint of heart. So we just have to do it. Green first. Thank you, Margaret, for that mantra. Green first, or a 15-aught first, 11-aught second. If you're doing a different color. See, so look at that little picot. Just rounded that corner beautifully. What do you think? What do you think? Right? That's not too bad. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Did you find it, Miranda?
Nope.
No?
I found every 6 in the world.
No, every 6-aught. Well, we'll find it. We have a cute little festive tree here too. My in-laws, Chris's parents send it over. His dad and his partner, see, I almost did this backwards because I'm thinking about my relatives. They always send us something nice for Christmas. So we have this pretty little tree from Fred and Carol. Also has little cardinals on it, which I love. See, there we go. We're just going here, right? So now dangles. So thank you, my friend, for asking. Dawn. Am I adding dangles? And I think the answer actually is yes. I'm going to add dangles. So let me stop here. Okay. And I want to show you a trick, what I'm going to do with this over here. So I'm going to leave this here because I might have to take that picot out, right? And I'm going to come in and I'm going to do the Danielle Wicks adding thread trick. If you haven't seen this, I'm going to come in and I'm going to tie a square knot because I don't have I want to use, so let me tell you what I'm doing here. I'm going to come here and I'm going to start beading on this side because I want to do picot and I want the picot to come down here because the picot is only going to be up here and down here and that's it. Down here will be dangled or something else. Okay. So I'm going to do the Danielle Wicks square knot adding thread. So right over left, left over right, and we can only do this really, it's most effective with fire line. I'm going to tie that knot. And as Danielle says, this knot's going to slide a little bit. Okay. So there it is. There's the knot. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to clip this down a little bit here and a little bit there. And I'm going to use my thread burner. Let's hope that this thread burner has a working bead tip, yep. Or what am I trying to say, a battery in there. And I'm going to come in. I can actually clip this a little bit more. See how I'm mushrooming that head down? I'm going to clip it a little bit more here. So it's a little shorter. I'm having trouble clipping it because I need to put the thread burner down. And I'll clip that there. Because you don't want a giant mushroom. I think you just want one that's small enough so it won't pull through the light or through the knot. Okay. Janice is also saying our thread burners are going to be back in early January. They were back ordered from our supplier. So put yourself on the product notification list. So see, I'm just tapping. Tap that in. And I'm going to tap this in. Now, we'll see at my all indentiers. Make sure you're using this in a well-ventilated area. I want to be really careful about this mushrooming. Okay. And then I pull it. Does she make the mushrooms first and tie the knot? I bet, you know what, Alita? I think you're right. I think you're right. Though this also works, but I think you're correct. Because see that kind of, let me try, well, I'm going to try that again. I mean, this works, but I'll kind of have a big blob right there. Again, Danielle Wicks. I need Danielle, patron saint of bead demoers. I'm calling on you. There we go. All right. I've mushroomed them first. Yeah, she just did it. Oh, and then Danielle ties a knot, then makes tiny mushrooms. Well, let's just see. So I did one. So let's do it. Let's just do it again. So right over left. Left over right. It's such a cool trick. However you make it work for you. So there's my tiny mushrooms. I'm going to tighten them down. And now I'm going to pull. Is it going to slide? Is it going to slide all the way? There's one. See, that one worked. There we go. Oh, almost there. The other one didn't quite slide enough. So I'm going to come in and clip this and mushroom it down. It's such a great trick, so you don't have to, but don't burn your thread. There we go. Bam. So a little bit of both, right? Danielle showed us this on a couple of her videos that she did with us. She did it last week with her her bracelet video that she did, which was great. I'm going to come in and give that a little press. I'm going to get another needle here. There's one. Oh, I should have added. That one had that one already had thread in that needle. What's going on outside?
I don't know. Kids skipping school?
Maybe. Do you want to go tell those hooligans to get off our lawn?
Hey, get off my lawn, you whippersnappers.
Right. There we go. Yeah, I know. It's a legendary. It's totally legendary. Just like Michelle's toothpick hack. Now, I'm just thinking here, as I'm working this through, I'm putting 15s on this. So this giant, it's not too big of a mushroom, but I'm not sure that the 15 is going to jump over this, right? And yeah, we'll have to, I would have to pull them both at the same time, but you know, the way things are going today, who knows? But this, I need 3. So let's see. I don't think it's going to go through the 15, but I'm not going to picot the other side of the top anyway, because you've seen it. I want to play around with what's going on the bottom. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go, let me see if I can just get this picot on there. If not, I'll fix it. I'll fix it later. Nope. Oh, yes. Look at that. That was, oof, that was a little heat and a squeeze. That's a good idea. That was definitely playing with fire there. Let me get it back here. I'm going to put this aside though, because I don't know if my luck will hold, but that's a great tip. Heat it and squeeze it a little bit flatter so it rounds out. Okay, really good idea. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to continue that picot from this side all the way down. Okay, so let's look at some dangles, because we need to move it up here. I'm going to take this picot out. And I think what I would do here, and I might continue this on Friday, actually. It might be a good place to stop. I think next what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with the 8/0 and come around and do, maybe I'll do a double row. Let's see what that looks like. And then we'll just have to stay tuned, because you can also brick stitch. You can use the 2. You can also do a double row, just depending right? I've got all of these little things, just depending on how you want to build it. Okay. So I'm going to come in. Let me just do this row right here. Let me put these two on, because it's kind of like, actually, no, do I just want to put one on maybe? I think I lied to you. I'm going back through. I was feeling like I was starting the row, but I'm not really. It's just kind of a continuation of that other row. There we go. Let's see what that looks like. You know, when we do bead projects, when we have them when we have them done beforehand, we go through all of this for you already. But when I do things on the fly, sometimes you have to stick with me. I love it. This is a note for you, Miranda, from Deb. She says, please put Kate down for a nap. Okay, I'm tired and I'm still doing a good job. Thank you. I don't know that I'm tired. Maybe I feel like I'm a little, not distracted, but we're getting closer and closer to the holidays.
Yeah, you have the itis.
I do. I feel like, oh gosh, there's so many things that aren't finished. Like this morning, I had to clean the studio before I did this, right? So I'm kind of still in like cleaning mode, distraction mode, all of that kind of stuff. But thank you, my friends, for sticking with me. And if I go down for a nap, Chris is really good at taking like a 20-minute power nap, right? He's really good at that. That really is good for him. Me, if I go down for a 20-minute power nap, I'll either miss dinner and wake up after dinner or wake up the next day. I'm not a good short napper. I wish I was. I mean, sometimes I can just kind of like put my head down and wake up refreshed, but I'll tell you, I need a nap. My mom's the same way, right? I am. I'm just excited for Santa. It is true, Curtis. I definitely need a sandwich, Carolyn. Santa, what Chris and I do for our holidays for each other, we get each other books. And so this year, and we usually order them from the big box store, right? The big online box store. But this year we're putting our money where our mouths are because we're so grateful that so many of you are shopping small, that we have actually a new small bookstore downtown here in Fresno. So Saturday we're going to go and buy our Christmas books from one another on Saturday from our small bookstore.
If you walk out to the car like this,
it's going to be good.
You can't show each other.
You can't show each other. No, well, we'll kind of maybe give them to each other in the store. Maybe, I don't know. So we have them, or maybe we'll wrap them. I don't know. Maybe. So look at that. I think this looks pretty darn good. If I do say, yeah, Karen, I'm not always a good sleeper, but you know what I've found? I should put these on our Amazon list. And I gave some to Miranda, right, Miranda?
Yes.
Those heated eye masks.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to put them on. This will change your sleeping life. I'm not kidding. They're like little self-heating eye masks. They're so relaxing. I'll put them on. I promise you.
Good idea.
Beaded bookmarks are fun. Sometimes I make bookmarks on my embroidery machine. Right? That's awesome. I love, Sharon, that you do bookmarks or that you do books for each other as well. I love it. Yeah, small bookstores. That was my very first job at the Book Arbor in Gilroy. My buddy Beth, who you've met on these broadcasts before, her mom and my friend Katie Long, her mom, Mrs. Long and Mrs. Colbert, both had a bookstore in Gilroy. It was called the Book Arbor, and that cemented my love for small business. So, yeah, thrift books also very good. There's a lot of great online things to do. So my friends, I will ring off. I will add some links to our Amazon store. If you have not been to our Amazon store yet, it's Janice, you can throw the link down, or I might have the link actually here. I do. Hang on. And I'll drop some fun things in there for you. Okay. But give us a follow on our Amazon storefront, and I'll put some of those things. I gave those eye masks some to Miranda, and she said she slept like a baby. So it was awesome. So yeah, so I'm going to stop here. We are going to revisit this on Friday. I'm going to start with some fringe. I'm going to incorporate, I think I'm going to do a row of brick stitch of these right here. So that'll be good. Oh, and thanks for that link. I'll put that in. I'll find it. And we will get together on Friday for Free Tip Friday. Thank you, friends, for sticking with me today. I hope you enjoyed the beginning of this project. Pick up the components and the links, right? They're all 10% off. So you can add your rewards, you can add your coupon codes, all of that right on beadshop.com. But I really appreciate your folks sticking with me today. It was a little disjointed, but it's fun. We get together, we chat, we check in. And thank you, Stem Hilly, for reminding us. It's really true. Not only for small bookshops, for sure, but with all small businesses. A slow couple of weeks for a small business really means the difference between thriving and dying on the vine, right? Because think about it. Every 2 weeks, your small business needs to process payroll, right? Our staff, as much as we love them and as much as we would love it, no one works for free around here, right? So, my friends, support those small businesses, not only your small businesses online, but your small brick and mortars on Main Street USA, right? So we want to make sure, or Main Street Canada or Mexico or across the pond, wherever, right? So we really, really appreciate you folks shopping small and keeping us small business owners, working, keeping us going. We really, really appreciate it. So thank you, my friends. Deb, thanks. But I'll see you folks again on Friday. I'll be a little more together with it, I guess. I'll think this through a little bit more. We'll add some dangles, and we will have a great project that is in that kind of that mocha mousse colorway for color of the year. All right, my friends, thank you so, so much. And know that you can find us over at Beadshop.com online. You can also find us, let me take that comment off. There it is. On all of our socials, hit us up. If you have questions, hit us up at info@beadshop.com. If you need your order expedited, please let us know either today, which is the 18th, or tomorrow, the 19th. We'll get it out. After that, it probably won't arrive to you until after Christmas, right? And on YouTube, hit that like, subscribe, and notification button, and click that thumbs up. We super appreciate all of you. Thank you, my friends, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye, everybody.